Good evening, my friends, and welcome to McClain Cellars. Welcome to WineTV. I'm your host, Jason McClain, and I could not be more thrilled, more excited, and more joyful to come at you from my home into your home. This is my music room where my kids learn to play the guitar and the piano, and I jam with my wife, and we have a wonderful time just being a family. And during this time of being shut in place with nowhere to go, we're bringing you Wednesday nights and Saturday nights Wine TV filled with fun, filled with cooking, filled with all kinds of enjoyment and excitement all day long. Until the world opens up again, we're going to hang out with you. So join us tonight. We're going to have a big, giant blast. It's going to be an awesome, amazing day. And I am excited to begin this evening and have a little open door world so we can actually have some fun together. I know you're pumped. In the chat roll, if you're on YouTube, you can chat with us directly. If you're on Facebook Live, once again, we're there as well, and you can chat with us as well, and we'll go back and forth. But without further ado, allow me to bring out the trumpet, because it's time to introduce my very, very amazing special guests. All right, drum roll or trumpet roll. All right, ladies and gentlemen, it is my honor, pleasure, and joyful excitement to introduce two amazing dudes. I mean, the coolest guys on the planet Earth. One, they're so cool because they work for free. Two, they're so cool because they drink lots and lots of wine. One of them's got great hair, the other one's losing his hair. One of them likes to cook, the other one likes to drink. One of them likes to jump, the other one likes to lay down. Ladies and gentlemen, my two co-hosts, my coolest dudes, my friends, your buddies, allow me to introduce to you Jack and Mark right here, baby. Hello.
Hi.
What a pleasure. Hello. Hi, everybody.
Cheers.
I didn't like that hair remark.
You like the hair?
I am working on my top knot here. You see, I am like Buckaroo Banzai. It's pretty cool.
That's nice.
Buckaroo Banzai. Loving it. You look good, Jack. You really
Thanks.
really
I appreciate that. You're not so bad yourself, Big Daddy.
Yeah, you know what? It's hard to be humble when you're good. It really is.
So what's it all about tonight? What's our featured wine?
Well, you know what? Our featured wine is going to be Life Saver. It is an amazing Petit Syrah with a touch of Merlot and a touch of Sangiovese. Really, really yummy. We're going to do a little wine tasting on that one before we get into the evening. And then we're going to have an amazing dish that Jack is going to prepare for us. Jack, what are we cooking tonight?
We are cooking a Chicago classic. We are cooking Chicken Vesuvio. It's going to be so cool. You know what? I've got background information on this. This may be one of the best things we've ever produced on this show.
I cannot wait. It sounds absolutely fantastic. It's going to be a yummy thing. But listen, before we get into that one, I want to do a quick little second and do a little shout out to all the small business owners that are just like me, who are living their life knee-deep in this coronavirus world when everything's changed and different. The coolest thing today, my family and I got with my lovely, amazing, perfect, fantastic sister and two of her three kids. We got all three of my children, and we went out to Balboa Island. Riva de Balboa is a boat company out there owned by by Matt and Jody Beeler. Awesome people, small business owners, and they're just running their boats out there in the midst of all this one. And we spent about 3 hours out in Newport Harbor in mid-70 temperatures. We had some wine, we drank some wine, we laughed, we heard music. It was as if there was absolutely no COVID-19, as if there was absolutely no pandemic. And people were out on the beach in Newport. They were out in their boats going back and forth. And we just had an amazing time. It was fantastic. So big shout out to Matt and Jody. Thank you so much. And if you are finding yourself stuck inside and you're not far from Newport Beach, California, I highly suggest you head over to Riva de Balboa and rent one of their boats. The boats are like little 1960s Chris Crafts, like the one you would see like JFK going in all the time. So really cool, but they're electric. So imagine an electric boat that looks like an old 1950s and 60s Chris Craft, an old Woody. Super, super cool. Loved it, loved it, loved it.
Did you have a sweater tied around your neck?
I was going to say.
No, but I did drop my car off in Chappaquiddick and, it killed somebody.
Wow.
You went there. Oh, dude.
There it is.
The door opens. The door opens. Hey guys,
We actually took our mom and dad on a Duffy boat not terribly long ago. It was a spectacular afternoon in the harbor, and I really recommend it. It's awesome, and it's not it's not expensive. You should guys. It's a really good thing to do.
Yeah, they charge you by the hour. If you get a couple of hours, you get some extra love. You know, it's not expensive. It's easy to drive. Absolutely everyone has got to go and take yourself on a Duffy ride, because in this craziness, if you need to social distance and be separate from everybody else, a Duffy boat ride in Newport is really a great idea, because you can't be next to anybody else, and they do a really good job. I'm really proud of Matt and Bila. They're wine club members here at McClain Cellars, so I definitely have to give them a big shout. But they cleaned those boats so well. We walked up there and we saw them just cleaning, because my family has to protect themselves. I got young kids, my sister and everybody else. We would make sure everyone's safe, and they cleaned the boat really, really well, and it was just a great day out on the water.
Excellent. Happy you had a good time.
I think it's a perfect time to do some wine tasting. You guys want to do some wine with me tonight?
No, I don't want to drink wine. Why am I here?
Because the world is better now that you're here. So if you need to have it, that's all a good thing.
Okay.
Well, Jack, drink some wine. What's the safe word?
What's the safe word tonight, Jason?
Life. And we're
Life.
Life. Now, that's a good thing to tell me that one, because I almost forgot. I want you to go to switch gears to our next scene. Life Saver is life. Now, what does life mean? If you're watching tonight and you've got a great glass of wine in your hands, then every time one of us or yourself in the chat roll say the word life, you must do this.
The hand is working.
Dude, that's a hand for your butt. Let's taste some wine, shall we? I just like dancing with that, don't you? Don't you feel it? I do. Listen, as we taste some wine tonight, right up here in your screen, you can follow McClain Cellars on YouTube, Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. And make sure you follow us. That way you get all the love that we're going to offer to you. My friends, tonight we're tasting our Tempranillo. Now, a lot of Tempranillos are just, one drink, one Tempranillo, right? So one thing we did to make this particular drink a little bit different, a little bit better, is we added a bit of Petite Syrah to it. Now, the government says as long as 75% or more of a particular vintage is one varietal, you may call that vintage Tempranillo or Merlot or what have you. So this one is 75% Tempranillo with about 25% of Petite Syrah, just to change the edge, bring some texture into it. So you're gonna love this one. This will make your poo-poo snap and your dog bark, kind of, maybe.
Wow, that sounds amazing.
All right.
So go ahead, guide us.
Guide us. All right. First thing is you take this beautiful glass of wine and you do a good swirl. Pretend you know what you're doing when you swirl it. Doesn't matter if you really do, but the more you swirl, the more it just sounds, gosh, yes, it's lovely. Take a nice little snooze. Here we go. Was that me or was that the dog?
No, the dogs were so excited that we're tasting wine. They wanted some, and I said no.
You've trained them well.
I thank you. I appreciate
Jack,
that.
you are the man with that one.
They don't have a discerning palate. I mean, let's
You should
face
teach them. You should make a dog wine. I hope.
And especially, we don't give them McClain wine because they really don't have a discerning palate. You get $2 Chuck.
Oh, good gracious. All right, this one is great.
Come on, guide us.
I'm picking up some black currant,
Yep.
gooseberries, A lot of blackberry in this one here in the nose. Very fruit forward, delightful. All right, let's go for the taste. Now, when you taste these, it's really important to put the wine on the left and the right side of your tongue. That's where more taste buds live, and you'll get a much better bouquet in flavor and joy on it.
Black cherry, a little hint of leather.
Yeah.
This is a great cigar wine, by the way. I will tell you. Yeah. Because what it would do is it would encompass all of the particular senses you want when you're actually smoking a cigar. So if there are cigar aficionados in here, this is your stuff.
100%. Love it, love it, love it. Oh, delightful, delightful. Tempranillo. Now, this is one that you want to take home with you. You can go to our website at McClainCellars.com, look for Life Savers, you'll find it. This one here, you know, we've paired this thing with lamb chops before. We've paired it with filet steaks, heartier meals. Like Tempranillo is more of a heartier grape. It's easier to grow. If you guys go to Temecula, there's a lot of wines that have a Tempranillo out there because Temecula is more of a difficult growing region as compared to Napa Valley or the Santa Ynez Valley or Santa Barbara because it's a little more drier out there. You don't have the ocean as close as you do where we take our grapes from. So it's a heartier grape and easier for a winery to grow. I like to take the wine and really kind of bust it up a little bit. That's why I add little blends. A lot of my wines, I add a little touch of one thing or another just to make it, you know, stupid good. It's even better that way.
Absolutely. You bet. You bet. And it's delicious. It truly is.
All right. So that's our wine for tonight. And it sounds to me like when you drink it, you'll have a better life.
Okay.
See what he did there?
Comes
See what he did?
Who's your daddy? Who's your daddy?
You're my daddy.
That's right, baby. All right, that was delightful. You know what? I think Jack has got some food for us tonight. And Jack, we're going to break you up in a couple of segments as we prepare this particular dish. And those of you who don't have the dish, you don't know where it's at, you didn't get the email, and you're watching us live for the very first time, if you go to McClainCellars.com on our website, you'll see a link at the top that says WineTV. When you click on WineTV, down there is a link to the actual recipe itself. At the exact same time, I'm going to pop it in the chat roll for a second. But before I do that, I think it's a great time to begin our cooking episode as we break into it, and then we'll do some fun cocktails. So, let's cook.
I'm pretty easy.
Okay, whoops, okay. Okay.
Producer's fired.
Fired, sorry.
Fired.
Erase. I pressed the cocktail button, not the cooking button, because I read it says cockatecos, not cocktails, cockatecos, and I couldn't figure it out. So erase that part. This is what happens when you're doing a live broadcast on 4 social media networks and our own website. Things sometimes go left. So let's erase that one, go backwards, and let's do some cooking. That didn't work.
That's what I'm talking about.
Thanks,
What do you
everybody.
do
We'll see you
now?
next time.
I'm no longer your
And
daddy.
good night, Mrs. Calabash, wherever you are.
Okay, let's try that again. Cooking, maybe? Nope. Cooking, maybe.
What a pleasure. Welcome to the kitchen, ladies and gentlemen. I am Chef Jack, and you know what? Live TV is what it is. So I'm making a Chicago classic tonight. I'm making Chicken Vesuvio. I'm going to give you a little background, but because the dish takes a little while to come together, about 35 minutes, I'm going to start cooking right now. What I'm going to do is I'm going to feature a little bit of the orange the blood orange balsamic vinegar from McClain Studios. I like the studios, McClain Studios. McClain Cellars. Studios, Cellars, you know what I'm talking about, okay? I like this because it's got a little citrus note, and I think it's going to work really well with the dish. I'm going to put this in my already hot pan, as you can see if you're looking at me overhead. And then what I've done is I've quartered about half a dozen Yukon Gold potatoes. I've dredged them in salt, pepper, garlic, and olive oil, okay? What I'm going to do... Now, the reason they call this Vesuvio is because of all of those sounds. You want those sounds, actually, you know, so we're going to brown the potatoes right now, and that's going to take about 5 minutes. What I'm going to do is I am going to turn my heat on over here. I am going to... What?
Jason, on the side camera.
Jason, turn on the side camera, if you can.
Overhead.
Whatever. I'm going to bring in my big pan. Look at this. Now, I have got 7 chicken thighs. Chicken thighs are what I think are the juiciest parts of the chicken. What I'm going to do is I'm going to dredge them with a little bit of salt, a little bit of pepper. I'm going to make certain that they have enough of this. I'm going to pound it in here. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take the olive oil, I'm going to put it in the pan, and then I'm going to brown my chicken. The important thing about this particular dish is that everything gets cooked on the stovetop really quickly, and then we're going to put it in the oven to finish for about 20-30 minutes, and everything becomes really delicious. Now, my other ingredients for this particular dish are peas, garlic. I've got a million cloves of garlic I'm going to put in this. I've got herbs. The herbs include oregano, thyme, parsley, and I am using a little bit of rosemary in this, okay? Fresh herbs. They're the most important things. I've got some,
Where are they from?
and they're from our garden, okay? Now, if you put the chicken down skin side, I want you to be aware of the fact that you are going to be seasoning these on both sides. So I've got salt and I've got pepper, and these are going to go
Talk right now because
on my chicken pieces, okay?
But I think the reason you're...
What was that, Jason?
Nothing, Jack.
My other ingredients are green peas, butter. You knew I couldn't live without butter, so butter's going to have to go in this particular dish, okay? Yellow onion, 1 whole chopped yellow onion. I've got about 5 cloves of garlic that I have roughly chopped. I have got my herbs. Oh, and this is the kicker. So now here's the deal about cooking this particular dish, okay? Let me give you a little history about Chicken Vesuvio. Chicken Vesuvio is a dish from Chicago, supposedly. There was a restaurant back in the 20s and 30s in Chicago called the Vesuvio, and they featured a chicken dish that was very similar to this. Although the cooking for this particular dish is really kind of sort of southern Italy, okay? So this recipe probably originated in southern Italy, came across in the big Ellis Island influx of refugees, and it ended up in Chicago, and it ended up at the Vesuvio restaurant in Chicago. It first appeared in a cookbook in around 1950, 1951, and it was one of those things that was a sensation to everybody. Now, everybody on the face of the earth, especially in Chicago, cooks a specific edition of this particular dish. I'm going to turn my potatoes a little bit here. And as you can see, they're browning up really nicely. Take a look at my potatoes. Oh, they're beautiful. Okay? Now, the other thing about this dish is there are like 600 different versions of it. It's a grandma dish. And remember, we talked about this before, that my particular forte is grandma cooking. So what I want to make certain that everybody understands is you can do this dish really easily at home in your kitchen. It is not hard to do. I'm sorry? In your own time. And you know what? A lifetime of cooking will allow you to do this particular thing. You know what? I love my wife because she prompts me to do all sorts of wonderful things. I'm going to take my spatula. Now, I should have a really nice brown, and I do, on this chicken, okay? And if it sticks to the bottom of the pan, don't worry about it, because we're going to do some magic things to it right now, okay? All right, so we browned our chicken on one side. We're turning it over. Remember, we seasoned it very liberally. I let the skin on specifically because I like the skin. All right, I'm not a skinny boy. I am kind of zoptic, as the term is. Okay, so now what we're going to do is I'm going to sprinkle some onions into the chicken. This is one whole onion. I'm going to put some garlic in the chicken. This is about 6 cloves of garlic, okay? Now here's the kicker, and this is one of those things that people debate about with Chicken Vesuvio. I'm going to add mushrooms to this dish. Now what it's going to do is it's going to add not only depth of flavor and it's going to add some texture, it's also going to add a little bit of umami, what the Japanese call umami. Umami is a flavor that's indefinable, but it's there when it's kind of you know you're tasting it when you taste it. Okay, so I've got a pound of mushrooms. I have got shiitakes, buttons, baby bells, and just because you're here tonight, I am putting in porcini mushrooms. Porcinis have this wonderful smoke flavor. I cannot live without porcinis, okay? So, the deal is I'm pouring the mushrooms into the dish. Now, it's going to get a little soggy, and we want that. That's important, okay? Now, I'm going to go half of my herbs, and I've got about 4 tablespoons of fresh herbs. My fresh herbs are garlic. My fresh herbs are parsley, oregano. I've got some sage in here, and I've got some thyme in here, and they all came from the garden, okay? I'm going to put half of that in there now. Now, look how beautiful that dish is, okay? I have done nothing but take this up to temperature. What I'm going to do is turn the heat to high, because I'm going to do something shocking. The reason this is called Chicken Vesuvio is because it's named after Mount Vesuvius in Italy, okay? So what does Mount Vesuvius in Italy do? It erupts, right? So once I have my potatoes are beautiful, by the way. Look at my potatoes. I'm browning those. Those are going to go on the top of that, right? Okay? So once I've come up to temperature on this, and I'm really using high heat, I am going to pour 1 cup of delicious, this is Camping the Clouds, McClain Cellars white wine. And it's supposed to make, now, I'm going to wait here, it's supposed to make a really lovely hiss. Let's see what happens. Well, that was kind of anticlimactic. Okay, so it didn't do that, and I'm going to add a half a cup of chicken stock, okay, because I can, all right, and then I am going to take my potatoes, because they're nicely browned right now. I'm going to put these on the top, and move these around a little bit. Ouch! That's hot. Okay. And finally, last but not least, what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this whole thing in the oven, and I'm going to cook it for about 25 minutes, and it's going to be absolutely stunningly gorgeous. So here it is. It's going to go in the oven right now. Hello. Oh, that dish weighs about 20 pounds, right? Okay. It's going to go in a 425-degree oven for about 25 minutes. I'm going to revisit it. I'm going to put some peas and some other stuff to finish it, and then we're going to eat it. And I know you, Jason, and you, Mark, are going to come over, and you're going to eat with us, and I can't wait for that to happen.
You know, Jack,
Starving.
when you cook, I can just sit here. I know everybody watching us right now, this broadcast, when you cook, we all just get fat. I mean,
That's it, babe.
My butt cheek, my right butt cheek. Can you see this? Can you bring the camera?
Yeah.
My right butt
It's definitely
cheek
sticking out.
just grew like 30 times watching Jack do his thing.
That would be me. You know what? If this particular series goes on, I do have really light dishes that I can make. I have summer dishes. We're going to make salads. We're going to get back into the vegetarian and the vegan thing. There's going to be a lot of different variety in the stuff that we can cook right now. I'm kind of establishing a little bit of a grandma kind of a vibe here because, you know what, we're in COVID-19 and I think comfort food is important. So the reason I'm doing this is because let's eat. Let's make certain that we nurture our friends, that we feed our friends and family, and we give them really good wine.
Jack, Becky up here says she loves the size of your pans. You know, and that.
Wow.
Did you ever think that anyone would like be in love with your pans like that?
You know what? I have a long and serious history of people being in love with my pans. That particular pan is a medium-sized paella pan, and I have used it for the last 20 years, and it's got a really beautiful carbon coating on it, and I owe it to my wife because she bought it for me.
Wait until they see the big one.
And wait till you see the big paella pan, which is I actually brought it to your house for Christmas.
You did.
I did.
You did. Nothing beats it. You know, nothing beats it. You know, listen, Jack's food is amazing. A comment from YouTube. Absolutely amazing.
Thank you.
Your comment about how great it is to hang out with friends. Don Spring was very kind enough to say, really nice, Jack. Really good thing.
I appreciate that. You know, Don, here's the deal. You know, I had two grandmothers, and they could not have been opposite of each other. One was a German Romanian peasant, and the other was a classic showgirl from Chicago. The one thing that they brought to the table was they could cook, and they loved each other, and it was so much fun to watch these two broads actually just cook together in the kitchen. It was so much fun. I'm sorry, I used the word broads. I did, okay, because that's the genre that I was raised in. Okay,
well, it is Chicago.
Term, okay, I'm going to say broads. Okay, and you know what? If my two grandmothers would appear next to me right now, and I said, you know what, I love you two broads, they would totally understand that. It was fun to watch them cook.
Jack, I love the people who are commenting on our evening tonight. Here's Juanita Lamuth, one of our faithful, amazing wine club members. She's drinking Darcella tonight.
Oh, Darcella.
Darcella,
Yeah.
that's right. We did that one the other night. And of course, tonight, that really makes a really good introduction into really great wines. The right wine with the right cocktail or with the right evening, the right moment can literally make everything in your world, everything in your life absolutely better. And that tells me that this is a good time for us, if I can press the right button, to begin, hang on, I'm reading this time, to begin to do a little cocktails. So who wants to find out how to make
let's
a cocktail?
do it.
Are you ready?
Yeah.
It's cocktail time.
All right, are we ready to make a cocktail tonight?
Yeah.
So we're going to take a tour of all my favorite food groups tonight on the show. So Jack's got the meat and potatoes food groups covered, and I'm going to give you the two other important food groups. One of them, wine. The other one is fruit. So tonight we're making a red wine berry spritzer. All right, so we're just going to kick this thing off. I'm going to be stirring again, not shaking, because we're going to put a little honey in this one. So you're just going to start with a container to mix it. we're going to throw a couple ice cubes in there so we can get the drink cold before we pour it in the glass. And then what we're going to do is just a couple blueberries. I'm going to do 4 blueberries. I have a couple of strawberries here. And normally what you want to do is to muddle these things. Now, if I could find my muddler, I would do that, but I have no idea where it is. So I'm just going to smush them up a little bit with a spoon because we want to get those juices in our drink to flavor it. So that should be good like that. And then we're going to do a little lime juice. We have, I had to borrow some limes from the McClains, and these are actually the smallest limes I've ever seen, but they'll do the trick. So I got the juice of 1/16 of a lime right here. Now, most important ingredient in this drink, we're going to make it sweet, so it's going to have a little dash of honey. And that's what we call a dash right there. And then we're going to add our wine. So it's going to be 2 parts wine to 1 part soda that we'll get to in a second here. But what we want to do is just get this wine cooled down. So when you're drinking a spritzer, you don't want to drink warm wine. I'm going to give that a few stirs. We're going to go ahead and pour it in our glass, ice and all. There we go. Now add the soda to taste. So if you like it, dark and heavy, don't put too much soda in. And I'm going to try to keep this from exploding all over my counter. There we go. Add a little soda. Nice fizz. Give it one more stir. Y'all know that looks good, right? That's tasty. We'll give it a shot. That's very good. So this is perfect for a summer day. It's starting to heat up a little bit now. You're sitting outside in quarantine having a nice red wine berry spritzer. Enjoy.
Mark, that looks delightful in every single way.
That's a good one.
You know, we got a couple of questions on here. This is the one recipe that we did not post advance of everyone else. Can you take a second and walk through the actual recipe again, verbally, so that those who are just watching us literally can know exactly what it is that you've got there?
Yeah, so you're going to start with your mixing container, and you're going to start with your fruit. So 2 to 3 strawberries, slice them up, because the idea is to get that strawberry juice. You want to muddle them. So I used, I think, 3 strawberries, and then I did 4 blueberries. You're going to muddle that together. You're going to do the juice of half a lime, which in my case, it was 1 tiny lime. So we put that lime juice in there. And then a half a teaspoon of honey. So a couple ice cubes in your container. You're going to pour your 2 parts red wine in. So you figure 2 ounces of wine. Stir it up till it's cold. That goes in your cup with ice. And then 1 part or 2 parts of soda. Just make it as light or as dark as you like it. So the way I have it now, it still looks pretty dark, but it actually tastes really light. So it's a great drink that you're not going to, I mean, you could have 2 or 3 of these and not feel the effects of 1 of these. So definitely a refreshing drink.
Don Spring says, Mark, that looks fantastic. He's watching
It's really good
on YouTube. And that's the cool thing about you. You just make these great, great drinks. We got another famous drinker in the house tonight, which is pretty cool to see. Ladies and gentlemen, Tiffany Boyer is on Facebook. She's live from Buellton, California, right now, watching us on Facebook Live. Tiffany, good to see you.
Baby.
Welcome to the broadcast. It's always good to see her. Now, Tiffany runs our Buellton location up in the Santa Barbara area, but, of course, it's closed. So she has a wonderful job of doing absolutely nothing every single day.
No. Come on now. I've seen her work. She does not do absolutely nothing. She is a spectacular ambassador for you, and I love her. Tiffany, you know what? I got to tell you, if you're not having a glass of wine right now, you have one, and I'll buy it for you, and I'll charge Jason for it.
You're so good. I think
that's a deal.
Did she pay you for that?
No. It is extempore from my mother wit.
Bucky says, looks damn good there, Mr. Barley.
I'll tell you.
So it looks really, really good. I may need to walk across the street and give some love into that one once again. That looks absolutely amazing. Any questions you guys have, please put them into your chat roll. We do see them, and we'll bring them up here, and we'll make sure everybody sees these wonderful things every single day. But before we get back into the next part of our loving moment, I've got a really, really, really important question that I want to pose to both of you. So, what is it, Jack, and Mark, what is it about McClain wine that makes your liver quiver and your shimmy, shimmy, cocoa pop? Why do you love McClain wine more than others that you've tasted or enjoyed? Jack, you turn off your microphone.
Mark, you go first and I'll go second.
Okay. Well, couple things for me. I think number one, obviously, it's a really well-made wine. So y'all know if you're drinking it now, it's the good stuff. It's the reserve. It's the stuff you pull out when your decent friends come over. The ones you actually like. Your family, maybe not. You know, it depends on who it is, right? But it's because the wine's good. Now, second reason is you got to know the story. I know every one of these bottles has a meaning. The label, the title, the thought that went into it. So for me, when I'm drinking something where I know it's got a good story behind it, I think it makes the wine that much better.
Jack,
Nice.
what do you think?
What he said.
Yeah, there you go.
No.
Cheers.
Okay. So here's the truth about this. I'm a professional drinker, and under the auspices of my darling wife, we have been tasting wine literally all over the world for more than 30 years. It's been an incredibly rich and entertaining and educational experience. We know the difference between what the good stuff is and what the bad stuff is. We really do. And when we met Jason, we met Jason at a place where they were actually serving like okay wine. It was just okay. And Jason said to me, well, I would really like you to taste my juice because I think I'm really making really good wines. And so Shelly and I looked at each other and said, well, everyone tells that to us, but you know what? We have nothing to lose. So that was the first time we went to the tasting room in Laguna. And no, I'm sorry, it was not the first time. It was you were still doing wine tastings at the restaurant. What was the name of the restaurant, Shelly?
Tudo Fresco restaurant
At
in
Tudo
Rancho
Fresco.
Santa Margarita.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that was the first time, really, that we tasted your wines. And you had 7 varietals set up on a bar.
6.
And our friend August was there, and Augie has a wonderful palate as well. And every single wine we tasted, we went, wow, this is incredible. Wow. Okay. There's no reason to blow smoke up your butt because there's enough of that going around, okay? But we've been impressed literally since day one because we know what good wine is. At least I'd like to pride myself on knowing what good wine is. And you make great wine.
Thanks.
Here's the other thing, and Shelly Ann is prompting me on this too. The experience that you have drinking wine at a McClain Cellars winery tasting room is second to none. Everyone knows what they're doing. Everyone has a great role that they play. And when Tiffany just kind of beeped in a little while ago, she is terrific. And you know what? It's a big. It's a big shout out to Jason and how he's put his staff together and how he presents his wines and how delicious his wines really are. I have fewer than 5 bottles of Jason McClain wine left. I'm actually putting them in my library now, okay? Because I think I need to, because they're going to turn out to be classic wines. So, on behalf of me and Shelly Ann, I would like to say thank you for the opportunity of, first of all, befriending us, and second of all, taking the time and doing the work and making spectacular wine.
Well, cheers to you, Jack. It's very, very kind in every single way. I really appreciate the kind words.
Well, you know what? in a lifetime full of drinking, this is not bad juice.
I love watching the comments here on the screen. And I'm going to go ahead and swip it over there a little bit so people can see it. Bucky says, my sister and I have been to McClain's, and my sister's raved about it if we buy wine from McClain's. Listen, to everybody, I got to just tell you, it's funny. It's such a joy and an excitement to do these webinars and get on with people and friends to just do these kind of things. So thank you guys for loving the wine. Thank you guys for being on these webinars with us Wednesday nights and Saturday nights. It's a lot of fun. And we get stupid and we tell dumb jokes and we eat really good food. So for everybody who's watching tonight, thank you for supporting McClain Cellars. Thank you for supporting our small business because we are truly just that. We're a small business trying to make it work. And we've got our location up in Buellton, which is waiting to open up when the governor finally says, please open up your doors. Our Laguna Beach place is open every day from 3 to 8, and our staff is just kind of waiting for someone to come over and give us some love so we can get that door opened as well. And of course, our Irvine location where we have everything stored at, and we're working on 2 other locations. So in the midst of all of this craziness, we're still going forward. We're still going to continue making great wine, making great experiences, and making sure everybody has the absolute best. And Mark has sat on my couch, because we live across the street, by the way, if you don't know this or not. Mark Barley, right over there, right there, he lives right across the street from me, and we drink consistently. As a matter of fact, I think that we've set a couple of Guinness Book records about the amount of wine that we actually drink. Mark has been in the incubation side of tasting every single one of the wines that we've made here at McClain Cellars, which is really, really kind of cool. Next week, I'm real excited about it. Next week, we're going to be rolling out new at-home tasting flights. They'll be available. The videos are done. The landing pages are done. We have 1 ounce pours and we have 2 ounce pours of every one of our flights from Laguna Beach that we'll be launching out. And, $20, and it's in your doorstep, right? Really, really cheap, really, really simple. And those of you who not really had the chance to love McClain Cellars wines or try them, go over here on our social media and, follow us on Twitter, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube, whatever it is, and you'll get the notices next week when it comes out. And that's a really good door to make sure you can take home, 4, 5 of our wines, and you can pick the flight. All whites, all reds, red and whites, all reserves, and we have a futures flight. So all the wines we've not yet released, we've created them in 1 ounce and 2 ounce bottles. So you can have those at your doorstep. Those will be launching out literally within the next 48 to 72 hours. So most likely before our next broadcast on a Wednesday night, you'll be able to see those. And you'll also be able to get our beautiful wine cover face masks that we put together. All these really cool things are coming out. And we're just kind of just staying sheltered in place while we keep making the world better. And with friends like you and everybody else watching us tonight, we could not be more excited. I feel a big hug coming from Jack. And he just touched my bosoms right now. I just felt that arms reach out, and there was some love right even there. And my butt's going to get a little bit bigger now because I think Jack is going to bring up some food. Jack, how's your recipe coming? Are you ready?
Just do me a favor. Put your bosoms away, okay? Yes, I do. I have a couple of different things coming up right now. So we're about 15 minutes into our 20-minute cooking time. I need to give you a little bit of background about how I was raised and brought up. Okay, so first of all, I'm going to switch into my best Chicagoese, which has been a long time, but I think I can do it. Okay.
Hold on for 1 second, Jack. Before we do that, let's pick that up in a second. I want to get to the chat roll for a second and bring a couple of comments over.
Surely.
Because we want to make sure we get people while we're chatting. So hold that thought and go to your Chicagoese in 1 second. Here is a lovely note from. Let me adjust the screen here a little bit for you guys so you can see it. Here's a lovely note from Elizabeth Ann. Jason Tiffany, this is Phil using my daughter's Facebook account. Okay, great. YouTube kept freezing on us. Don't know why. Do you guys have any estimated date for the Buellton tasting room opening? Well, Phil, using your daughter's Facebook account, And you know what? I love that when someone's having technical problems, they immediately run to their kids. That is absolutely what you should always, always, always do. Buellton, to give you an idea what's going on Buellton. Buellton is done. We're ready to start landscaping now, which will probably start in a week or so. We're waiting for the county of Santa Barbara to approve our permits for our signage and the use change of the building that we took over and renovated. So that they say that permit can take 30 days. So hopefully it's there. But right now the bar's there. You can drink there. It's great. You just can't go there unless you come with me, and we just go there and we drink. But I can't, do public tastings there at the moment. But we're hoping it can open up within a month. But we just don't know. It's literally up to Governor Gavin Newsom and his plan for allowing America to go back to work. And I can't put any comment or thought in that one. I'm not in politics. I just make wine. And I would love to open up my doors again and allow people to come back and begin tasting wine. That is really, really cool. Phil also just said they got their face masks on Monday. Woohoo. So if those of you who want to see these face masks on Wednesday night, we're going to be wearing the face masks, all three of us. And you're going to see them. We're going to do a fashion show of face masks because they're great. They kind of pull up from the bottom up, and they're all of our wine labels. And so they're really, really well done. They're high quality, something I know everyone will fall in love with in getting things in gear. So that's about it for that one. I don't see any more questions I want to pop into just yet. Let's see here. And that's it. So Jack, are you ready to take the world on by storm, my friend?
I am indeed. Okay, so my Chicago experience. I already told you about the essentially how this dish came about, and this is from 1930s, a restaurant called Vesuvio. I'm born and raised in Chicago, in the city. So my best Chicagoese, I'll try to explain it to you, okay? I was born on the hot pavements, okay?
Oh, my God.
I was born on the near north side, and I went to St. Michael's school, and everything was fine. And I eat sausages, and I loved the Cubs and the Bears. And I made certain that that there were things that I could do that were good, and one of them was cooking, and so I cooked, and this is what kind of brought me here today. I kind of sharpened up my accent a little bit because this is really a classic Chicago dish, and I can't wait to show it to you. So here's the deal. What I'm going to do now is I'm going to pull this out of the oven. And you are going to be amazed at how awesome this is, okay? So, look at this. Now, you'd want to eat that right away, right? Okay? But we're not done yet. No! There is stuff that we got to do. So, here's the deal. The first thing is we're going to add peas to this dish. Now, these peas are classic in Chicken Vesuvio, okay? And so these are frozen peas. So they're going to need about 6 or 8 minutes, okay? And I'm going to throw in some butter. I know, it's so crazy. But, you can't really survive without butter because that's what's in your brain. And your brain will love you when you have butter, okay? So I put about 3 tablespoons of butter in here, okay? And last but not least, what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut a tomato in half.
That's a lemon.
That's a lemon. Is it a tomato?
Same
It's a lemon.
thing.
Okay. It's a lemon. It's so close to a tomato. Look at the color of it, okay? So I'm going to cut a lemon in half.
I always thought it really was a tomato.
Thank you. You know what I do too.
I wonder who would say anything
All
about
right.
having
So I'm going to cut. The lemon is going to go in here, okay? Because I want the citrus. Now, remember the citrus that I used initially was the blood orange. Alexa, shut up. Okay, that was my timer. And I'm going to put the juice of 1 whole lemon. So I'm going to squeeze this. I don't care about the seeds and all that kind of stuff. I really care about the citrus in this thing, okay? So, here we are. Now, this is going to go back in the oven for 10 minutes. And it's going to be spectacular. I can't wait for you guys to taste this. Here it is.
There's that hiss.
My oven gave a little hiss, which means it's the perfect temperature. Oh, by the way, my towel says, wine improves with age. I improve with wine.
Oh,
and
yeah.
It's the truth, kids. You know
Yep.
what I'm saying?
Yeah, it's all about life.
There it is.
Jack, I love it. Hey, you want to see my sign tonight?
It's all about life.
Oh, thank you. Yes, sir.
Hey, Jack, here's my sign for tonight.
We have that.
Oh, it's how classy people get wasted. I've
True.
had that under my gazebo now for 10 years, and I think it's the best thing I've ever seen in my life. Oh, no, wait, Jason.
Yeah.
Jason, wait. I've got to show you something. Give me the screen for just a second, okay?
Sure, give me. Okay, but hold that thought. I've got some comments real quick, Jack. So we're gonna go ahead and answer a couple of questions, and we'll come right back to you.
Okay,
So,
I'm in.
Don says that his grandma would be proud of you, Jack.
Oh, absolutely. You bet. So is my grandma. Absolutely.
So that's really pretty cool. And let's see here. Oh, Cindy, it's there. I had another question here or a couple comments. I wanted to bring them on, but I think I lost them. I did. They were in the chat roll. I'm looking at the chat roll. I can't tell. Okay. Anyway, back to you, Jack.
My wife, Shelly Ann, decided that she was going to make something absolutely spectacular to celebrate our new platform tonight, okay? And I said, what are you thinking of? And she said, I'm going to make a bread bouquet. And I looked at her and I said, I don't know what that is. And she said, well, I'll show it to you, okay? And so, ladies and gentlemen, if you've never seen this before, this is a bread bouquet. Check that bad boy out, okay? So it's bread, and it's got asparagus and tomato and green onions, green peppers and red peppers, and it's absolutely spectacular. We're going to have this with the Chicken Vesuvio tonight, and you know what? I got to tell you, I love my wife. She has made something that is just absolutely so artistic and so beautiful. I'm going to get this as close to the screen as possible. Look at this bad boy. I mean, it's awesome. I can't say more than wow.
That's very nice.
I'm so proud of her. Isn't it cool?
Shelly Ann, you did a great job, my friend. Absolutely fantastic. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it. I love it.
And you know what? I'm just over here doing
Love
the
you,
math.
Jason.
Love you, baby.
I'm over here doing the math. If I ate like that twice a week, because we got a Wednesday and Saturday show. If I ate like that twice a week for a month, I would easily gain 300 pounds.
I went on a bike ride this morning. I put some miles on. It's all temperance, isn't it? I mean, and you know this, right? So here's the deal. Whatever you take on, you have to offload, and that's the real key to the issue. I'm not saying that,
like jog in place.
I'm not saying that I'm at my ideal weight, because I'm certainly not. But you know what? I'm going to get there, Big Daddy. I'm going to get there.
Dude, when I think about you, I also get fat because you cook. But I think you're ideally weighted and you're beautiful.
So here's the deal. I'm going to pull the dish out right now. Throw me the screen, Jason.
You got it.
So,
thank you, Bucky. Bucky says McClain to sell wine scones. And so I said, okay, great. We'll figure that out, Bucky. Thank you so much. I appreciate that comment. All right, Jack, here we go. It's going right back to Jack, ladies and gentlemen.
All right,
Jack.
so in the oven,
Who knew I was making? Oh,
I am pulling out Chicken Vesuvio. Ow, that's hot.
Nice,
Okay.
Jack.
Oh, yeah. That smells good.
How am I going to finish it? So, I'm going to finish it with some fresh herbs, which I'm going to sprinkle over the top, which should be really delicious, okay? I'm going to put a little bit of pepper on the top of that because I really like pepper, especially freshly ground black pepper. And I am going to squeeze one more little thing of lemon on the top of this. And ladies and gentlemen, this is a Chicago classic. It's been around since the 1930s. This is Chicken Vesuvio a la Jack. And there you go.
Very nice.
I wish you were here to taste this. I really do. I've got about 20 pounds of food and like 6 people to actually eat it. So,
well, but the kids across the street are expecting
okay.
leftovers.
My kids live across the street, so they're going to be eating wonderful things.
Awesome. Well, my friends, as we get ready to wrap up tonight, we want to thank you guys so much for joining us and having a real fun time. Jack, your cooking's amazing. Mark, that cocktail, I cannot wait to drink. And for everyone here, it's like kind of like that your life.
Oh.
Just got better. And I think as we begin to go out and drink some more and have some good times, everyone watching tonight, whether you're on Periscope, on our Twitter, whether you're following us on Facebook or on YouTube, we're probably working on Instagram Live. We haven't gotten that far just yet because of the way the screen works, what we want to do with our broadcast. But we really appreciate you hanging out with us. We're going to see you guys next Wednesday, or this coming Wednesday at 7 p.m. And we're going to do this all over again. We're going to have different wine. We're going to have different food. We're going to have different stupid jokes. And you're going to hear me blow the trumpet again, which is real exciting. There's nothing better to do than hang out drinking with all of us during the coronavirus time. What do you guys think about that?
One last thing. The dinner bell is ringing. Let's do it.
Love it. Oh, yeah. That's how we roll.
Here we go.
Ladies and gentlemen. Yes.
You got rhythm.
That was pretty good. Did you hear that?
Yes.
Yeah, you can turn it up a little.
Was it a little loud?
Well, I love
I
this
was ready
time.
to dance up. I was going to do the matinee shuffle right off stage. You know what I'm saying? Oh, yeah,
That's it. Ladies and gentlemen, when that beat goes on, we get ready to turn it down. We're going home. Thank you for everybody for joining us tonight. You guys are the best. Don Springs says, great, Jack. Just need your address, Jack. That's all he wants. Don Springs ready to rock and roll. Oh, yes. Cindy, she wants to jam with us. She said, rock on, my friends. Rock on. Yeah, that's how we do it. Oh, yes. She loved the bell. Yes, that bell flows. And, of course, everyone loves super good wine. What?
That's right.
What? You got it. My friends, thank you so much for joining us. We love you. We appreciate you. I'm Jason McClain from McClain Cellars. And these guys are Jack and Mark. And we are here to get you drinking good wine. Because there's nothing better to do. Good night, everybody.